understanding the phenomena of various hormones, electrolytes, and many of the nervous system functions and cardiac functions which are responsible to manage the blood pressure, we go towards the low blood pressure, that is also called as hypotension. So in hypertension we have seen various kind of blood pressure ranges, that is systolic, that is the upper limit, and the diastolic, that is the lower limit. So when there is a hypertensive condition, blood pressure reading is 90 is to 60, that might be lower than that sometimes in many of the people, or any kind of medical conditions it can be normal also, but below it can be counted as hypertensive conditions. It is a very greater problem which is leading to dizziness, fainting, extreme cases, even shock. So sometimes we get the treatment for that, but in case if it is not treated on time and within sequential order, that can lead to a fatal conditions. Now, blood pressure, all the cells and body needs, body organs require oxygen and proper blood supply, as we require nutrition and proper feeding all the time. That same way, organs and cells require blood and oxygen to survive. So heart will eject out, as we see in the picture, that heart is working to eject out the blood towards the system. So through the blood vessels, all the blood is being supplied to the organs and the other system peripheries. It is getting blood by the blood vessels and the capillaries. While returning from the system, veins are acting as a carriers towards the heart. That is, impure blood is carried towards the heart, but this whole thing is managed only if there is sufficient fluid in the body. So if the heart is pumping out the blood, ejecting complete blood, that will supply enough of blood supply to the vessels. That's why the organs will remain intact, because they are getting enough of nutrition and oxygen by the blood. And in case if they are not able to eject sufficient amount of blood, so systems will not be able to get a forceful blood supply. And if there is less of force or less of blood supply, the pressure in the walls developed by the blood towards the blood vessels will be very low, and definitely the returns, that is a venous return from the body by the veins towards the heart, will be low. So in that case it will be having a low blood pressure. So to describe the blood pressure, there are two numbers which we can see, that is top number, which is called as systolic blood pressure. It measures the pressure when the heart start pumps. A normal healthy top number is 120, and the second number, which is the lower one, then the systolic, it is also called as diastolic blood pressure, will be lesser, that can be below or equal to 80. So we have various examples. It can variate from person to person according to the work, according to the age. It can variate. So it's not an issue with that. But the range should not extend, or it can deteriorate below the certain extent. So blood pressure does not stay as same as we had discussed during sleep, during rise, during any kind of postural changes, during eating, during stressful condition, environmental variations. It can variate, but if it is not been able to cope up in a short period of time, that means there is a deficiency to manage the pressure, or the blood ejection might be not adjustable towards the body mechanism. So that will affect what our vital organs, that is brain, kidneys, and all the other systems. Normal blood pressure in adults is, it is approximately 120 to 80, but the lower range is 90 to 60. If it is getting lower than that, that patient might be in the hypotensive conditions. That means the blood pressure is not able to get normal towards the uh, normal range, and it is not fastly done. So in that case, the pressure will lead to lower pressure will lead to the medical conditions. There are several types of low blood pressures. We can see orthostatic hypertension, which we discussed, that is due to the postural changes, neurally mediated hypotensive conditions, severe hypertension, and leading to the shock. So, orthostatic, which we had seen that during standing up from sitting or lying down position, that is sudden variation in the position, patient might feel dizzy or lightheaded, and even sometimes it may faint. And if the body is not able to cope up fastly, so that will lead to the hypertensive conditions. What can be the symptoms with that? And various things in orthostatic hypertension. So if the blood pressure drops, patient will be dizzy and he is not able to cope up, might be short unconsciousness period will be there. So it will last for certain seconds. The person may need to sit or lie down to manage it, even though it is not able to sustain again, it is not coming back to normal situation. That means patient might be in the medical emergency situations. A form of orthostatic hypertension is also called as postprandial hypertension. That is sudden drop in the blood pressure after the meal. So after taking meal, we are aware that metabolism is there. So all the blood supply is towards our stomach, or it is towards the GI system to work out with the metabolism activity, and that will lower the blood supply towards the other organs. So this type of lower blood pressure will affect the older adults, and people who are having the high blood pressure or central nervous system disorder such as Parkinson disease are also at the increased risk for this. Even Parkinson disease, we are aware that it is a brain disorder due to the dopaminic disruption, and it will lead to the shaking, tremors, and difficulty in walking. Gait cannot be managed, and even coordination is not there. In case of neurally mediated hypertension, that is the second type, blood pressure drops after being standing for a longer period of time. Okay, so patient might be feeling like fainting down, or he is not able to manage the gait, and it might be stomach upset, hyperacidity, or sick at stomach. That can be the result of NMH, and it can happen due to the unpleasant, or it can be due to the stressful conditions. Psychological conditions might affect, especially in children and young adults it is seen often. In severe hypertensive, it may lead to shock. It is another kind of low blood pressure. Shock is really and life threatening. It can be an havoc, it can be a disastrous condition where blood pressure drops so low that the brain is not able to get sufficient of blood supply. So in that case, syncope may occur. So if syncope means lack of consciousness for certain period of time and loss of consciousness, so if brain is not working, so definitely the other organs will also somewhere will be stalled with their function. So the vital organs cannot get enough blood to work well, and that is why the blood pressure drops much lower in shock. And it is an other type of hypertensive which can be fatal. So examples which will include that the factors will cause to shock are like infection, burns, allergic conditions, any kind of trauma, or any kind of poisoning. It may lead to shock. What can be the symptoms? So blurry vision, confusion, dizziness or lightheadedness, fatigue, nausea, like feeling like vomiting, sleepiness, weakness is there. We may feel that we are going to faint, or actually we faint. Symptoms with the hypertension, you should sit or lie down. That means resting position should be taken immediately, so that will make you feel better. And even raise the feet at your heart level, so you can manage the return, venous return can be managed, so blood can return back from the venous supply towards the heart. That can again manage the conditions. Okay, if we have low blood pressure caused by the shock, loss of consciousness, what we talked, syncope can be there. It can be fatal if it is not correctly treated. Other signs and symptoms are like depending on the causes, and if the volume of blood is poor, the pumping action in the heart causes shock. So if ventricles are not properly working, for example, patient is having the ventricular disorders or valvular disorders, or in case the myocardial infarction is there, that means myocardial tissues are damaged. So in that case, ventricles will not able to pump or eject the blood, that will not able to supply towards the system. So in that case, person begins to breathe very quickly, pulse will be feeble or rapid, skin will become cold and sweaty, blue, pale in color due to cyanosis. If pressed, the color returns to the normal more slowly than the usual. A bluish network line will appear under the skin. And when extreme relaxation of blood vessel, which will cause shock, a person will feel warm and flushed at first, but then the skin will become cold and sweaty, and person will feel sleepy due to the drowsiness, because brain is not getting enough of blood supply. In that case of shock, we may call the emergency, that is 108. Even in mild forms, low blood pressure can cause dizziness, fainting, and risk of injury as patient is already drowsy. We cannot prevent body from getting enough oxygen to carry out the normal functions and causing damage to the heart and brain. So this is what how the symptoms are there. What are the different causes? Causes are like conditions or factors that disrupt the body's ability to control blood pressure, cause hypertensions. So you can understand if the blood supply is not sufficient, so how it can be managed. So if in case fluid is not sufficient, so that can be counted as dehydrative conditions, body has lost a lot of fluid or water. In pregnancy, again, postural hypertension can be the reason. Again, the weight can be responsible. And in sudden loss of that heaviness or sudden loss of the weightage from the body, pregnancy in which blood pressure often returns to the normal after birth, but somewhere it can be disrupted. In older age, since the older body is not able to cope up with the blood pressure and vessels have already calcified, arteriosclerosis is there. So in that case, elasticity has lost, degenerative conditions, so heart is also not pumping that strongly. So in that case, patient is not able to get sufficient of blood supply. Certain medical conditions will be raising the risk for orthostatic hypertension. What it can be, like anemia. So low RBCs, so low HB, and low HB means low oxygen, so that will be leading cause of hypertension. Then central nervous system disorders like Parkinson disease is also responsible, as they are not able to manage the sympathetic nervous system activities or parasympathetic nervous system activities. Endocrine conditions like thyroid disorders, low sugar, then low blood sugar or diabetes, and in heart conditions like heart attack, heart valve disease, low heart rate, and heart failure in case of severe infection. So these are the things which are responsible for hypertensive conditions. And even the heart conditions will raise the risk for orthostatic hypertension, as we talked earlier. In case patient is even taking the medicines such as anxiety, depression, for depression, for erectile dysfunction, central nervous system, it will make the heart activity sluggish. So due to this, it will increase the risk of orthostatic hypertension. And even certain times substance addicted person like alcohol, if he is smoking, that can again lead to vasoconstriction or vasospasm, that will be responsible for low blood pressure. And finally, if any of the factors which is triggering the orthostatic hypertension, being immobile, like if we are not mobilizing ourselves for a longer period of time and suddenly if we are trying to move, it will be leading to hypertensive conditions. In case of neurally mediated hypertension, what happens when the brain and heart are not having a proper communication, and we are relatively knowing that they are having a coordination to let the whole system function properly. But in case of NMH, the body is mistaken, telling that the brain that was carrying the efferent and efferent messages through and from the body is again disrupted, and the cardiac system is vice versa not getting the proper message. It is getting an opposite message. So the brain slows the heart rate, as it is telling the brain that the blood pressure is high. So definitely the heart will pump opposite to that, so that will slower the heart rate, that will make the blood pressure drop and cause the dizziness and other symptoms. Many factors that can cause severe hypertension, like linked to shock, and some of these include like heart attack, pulmonary embolism, that is blockage, or some thrombus has circulated in the blood vessels, and it is reaching towards the blood vessels of the lungs, and due to that clot it can lead to pulmonary embolism, and definitely breathing difficulty will also occur. A major decrease in the heart's ability to pump the blood, then severe loss of blood or fluid from the body, and certain severe infection are responsible. In sudden and extreme relaxation of arteries linked to the drop in the blood pressure can also cause shock. So, a reaction to certain medication, allergic conditions like anaphylactic shock, a severe head injury, liver failure, and poisoning. How to diagnose the low blood pressure? So low blood pressure, definitely any kind of diagnosis we are doing on arrival of the patient is first of all taking the history, then we will do the physical examination. So all the above red factors, like if there is dizziness, if blurry vision, so any kind of gait disturbance, if he is not able to sustain or manage the posture, and he is feeling like fainting, so all these things we can find out through the physical examination. And we have to see that any of the underlying conditions, health conditions are there, any cardiac history is there, then we can find out. So if there is a shock, then emergency treatment is required. In types of low blood pressure, healthcare provider may recommend the test. So we will further go for the other investigations. Blood test can be done, definitely we will go for the anemic, and if anemia is there we will find out for the HB, and low blood sugar is there, then we will see the sugar test and causing which may be leading cause of the hypotension. And electrocardiogram can be seen that if electrical activities are not being properly working, so in that case we are finding that the conductive system of heart is somewhere disrupted, and there will be a disruption in the rhythm, and regularity of the rhythm will be interrupted. So the strength and timing of the electrical signals, if are not being managed, then we can find out that there might be somewhere problem with the heart muscles or the ventricles, which are helping to generate the electrical activities. Again, if we are not able to continuously monitor if the patient is with the severe condition, so in that case we will attach a portable device, that is Holter's monitor, which will record the heart electrical activity continuously, and that will provide the EKG continuously in a standard form. Echocardiograph can be done, which is again creating a wavy movement by showing the picture of the heart through the sound waves, and this shows well how the work of the heart is going on with the size and shape, that will help to know that if it is having cardiomyopathy or anything that is interrupting the blood flow or ejection fraction. Then several types of echos are also there. It is stress echo, we are finding out from the treadmill test. And then next is, if the heart problems are easier to diagnose when our heart is working hard and beating fast, during that test we are doing the stress testing, we will make to exercise and given medications if unable to tolerate or make the heart work with the exercise. And Vasalva maneuver, another part, that is again we will help the patient to take a deep breath and then force the air out of the lips. So that is strenuous exercise of the respiratory system. So that will be done for the several times. This will help the patient to know how the heart rate and the blood pressure will be checked during this test. And this is how the part of our nervous system that controls the function like heartbeats and narrowing and widening of the blood vessels will be checked. If something is wrong with the part of nervous system, the blood pressure will have the problem during this test. Okay, healthcare providers will tilt the table, So we can find out that orthostatic hypotension and neurally mediated hypotension is being tested by this. So if the table is tilted, if the patient is not able to manage or cope up, the test will, during this test, underlying brain or nerve conditions will not be able to cope up. So during that time, patient may faint, or patient may not manage the hypotension or the blood pressure. Controlling the blood pressure, we have to give the treatment with the type of low blood pressure and severity of the symptoms. The goal of treatment is to bring the blood pressure to the normal again and relieve these hypotension conditions. And many treatments are available. So first of all, we have to go with the conservative treatment, where we can find out various factors which were responsible for that. So fluid management is to be done. So orally we can help out with the drinking little water, and there should be no alcohol. Then standing up slowly, because postural hypotension may be again becoming severe. Other lifestyle changes can be like leaving all the heavy meals, low carbohydrate meals. If you are having the postprandial hypertension, so in that case, low carbohydrate meals is recommended. So eat small. And not crossing, twisting of legs is one of the obstacle for the blood to reach towards the heart. So in that case, venous return will be obliged. So we have to sit straight without any twist towards the leg, or no cross legs should be there during sitting. Slowly increasing the amount of time, so make the mobilize the patient. So not only lying down position, but also mobilizing sitting positions is to be enhanced. We have to talk with the healthcare provider for using the compression stock. So if the patient is lying down for a longer period, deep vein thrombosis does not occur, and this will helps to manage the elasticity of the blood vessels also, and pressure over the blood vessels. So if there is dilatation of blood vessels occurring without the stockings, that can be avoided, and it will help to move the blood patently from the blood vessels towards the heart. In neurally mediated hypertension, what we can do is avoid the situations or the symptoms that are been triggering the conditions, and no standing for longer period, and plenty fluids has to be provided. Increasing the salt intake, that will again retain the sodium, will retain the fluid inside the cells. And we have to make the patient educate that how the symptoms, which are the symptoms which you can realize during hypertensive conditions, so they may not go ahead with the severity. If the medicines are causing the low blood pressure, they may variate the medications, or the dosage can be variated, so they can again retain their blood pressure. So we have to have the treatment for the shock is very necessary. So how we can manage, the goal is to treat the shock. So what we can do, restore the blood flow to the organs quickly as possible, and prevent the organ damage is a major goal. And we have to find out the cause of the shock. Okay, and we have to revert it. Blood and special fluids are put in the bloodstreams to restore the blood flow to the organs. Medicines are also helped out, so that can be increasing or enhancing the heartbeat. Depending on the cause of shock, and other treatments such as antibiotic or surgery may be needed. So overall, we can know now, we can summarize that low blood pressure or hypertension is when the blood pressure reading is lower than the 90 by 60, and these problems can lead to symptoms like dizziness and fainting, and it has to be treated. If it is not correctly treated, it may lead to shock, which can be fatal, and this has to be treated with severity of symptoms. Goal is to return the blood pressure to the normal, and lastly, underlying conditions has to be stopped. And overall, we have to treat the blood pressure, and we can take the steps to prevent the limit the symptoms such as dizziness and faintingness. Thank you.